Few games have redefined a series as dramatically as Fallout 3. Released in 2008, it dragged the franchise out of its isometric turn-based roots and dropped it into a fully 3D open world. And when the Game of the Year edition arrived in 2009, bundling all the 5 DLC expansions, it became the definitive way to experience the capital Wasteland. Today we're taking a deep dive into Fallout 3, exploring its history, its gameplay, its story, and how it was received. Buckle up, grab your Vault-Tec survival guide, and let's head back into the Wasteland.
In the heart of a bluebird.
The Fallout franchise began in 1997 with the original Fallout, a post-apocalyptic RPG developed by Interplay's Black Isle Studios. It was isometric, turn-based, and heavily inspired by tabletop RPGs like GURPS. It quickly became a cult classic thanks to its mature writing, dark humor, and emphasis on the player choice. Fallout 2 followed in 1998, expanding the scope but keeping the same formula. However, the late 90s were turbulent for Interplay. Financial troubles and internal struggles left the studio in decline, and by the early 2000s, the Fallout franchise was in limbo. In 2004, Bethesda Softworks, known for the Elder Scrolls series, purchased the rights to Fallout IP, and fans were divided immediately. Bethesda was famous for sprawling 3D RPGs like Morrowind and Oblivion, but could they capture the satirical, choice-driven heart of Fallout? Their vision was a radical one. They rebuilt the series on Gamebryo engine used for Oblivion before and shifted the perspective to first and third person. Combat blended real-time shooting with a new mechanic called WATS. Vault-Tec Assisted Targeting System, a nod to the series' turn-based roots. When Fallout 3 launched on October 28, 2008, it was met with both praise and controversy. Some fans of the originals felt it abandoned the soul of the series, while others hailed it as a groundbreaking RPG. It sold over 12 million copies worldwide, cementing Fallout as one of the Bethesda's flagship franchises. A year later, Bethesda released the Game of the Year edition, bundling the base game with all 5 DLC expansions. Operation Anchorage, a military simulation of a famous pre-war battle, The Pit, a morally grey story set in an industrial ruins of Pittsburgh, Broken Steel, an extension of the main story, raising the level cap and letting you continue after the ending, Point Lookout, an eerie open swamp adventure in Maryland, and the craziest one, Mothership Zeta, a crazy DLC where you basically get kidnapped by aliens. Together those expansions added dozens of hours of content and cemented the Game of the Year edition as the definitive package you should buy and play.
Don't know why I left the homestead.
Stepping into Fallout 3 was stepping into a new era of RPGs. Gone were the isometric tiles of the originals. Instead, you emerge from Vault 101 into a massive, ruined version of Washington D.C. A landscape scarred by nuclear war and filled with danger, mystery, and opportunity. The first thing player notices was the freedom. After a structured prologue inside the vault, you were released into the wasteland with almost no direction. Bethesda's philosophy was clear. If you see something in the distance, you can walk to it, explore it, and probably loot it. The sense of discovery became one of the game's defining features. Combat blended real-time gunplay with WATS, a system that paused the action and let you target specific body parts of the enemies with cinematic slow-motion shots. It was both strategic and spectacular, letting you blow a raider's head clean off or cripple a super mutant legs before moving in for the kill. While the shooting mechanics weren't as refined as pure FPS games, the combination of WATS and RPG stats made it satisfying in its own way. Character progression leaned into the classic special system. Strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. Each level granted points to invest in the skills like lockpicking, science, or speech, along with perks that defined your playstyle. Want to be a smooth-talking diplomat, a sneaky sniper, or a brute force brawler? Well, Fallout 3 lets you carve your own path regarding that. And the exploration was also the heart of the experience. The capital Wasteland was filled with landmarks, the Washington Monument, the Capitol building, and even the remains of the White House. Beyond the main story, countless side quests and random encounters kept the world feeling alive. You might stumble across a settlement of ghouls, a vault with a horrifying secret, or a bizarre wasteland survivalist living in an isolation. Morality played a key role here. The karma system tracked your choices, influencing how NPCs reacted to you. You could blow an entire town of Megaton in exchange for luxury housing, or disarm the bomb and became a local hero. Your decisions shaped not just your character's reputation, but sometimes the entire wasteland. And trust me, those changes to the wasteland are indeed visible. For example, when you finish a certain quest chain, the water around Wasteland suddenly becomes clear, and you will see barrels of aqua pura spread out throughout the wasteland. The DLCs added even more variety. Operation Anchorage was linear but gave players unique gear. The Pit introduced tough moral decisions, forcing you to choose between freedom and stability. Broken Steel changed the controversial original ending and raised the level cap, keeping progression alive, and Point Lookout provided a massive eerie swamp to explore, while Mothership Zeta leaned into pure sci-fi absurdity with alien weapons and environments. With all of that said, Fallout 3 gameplay was a blend of RPG, open-world exploration, and an action shooter. It wasn't perfect, the shooting felt clunky, the AI could be dumb at times, and bugs were frequent, but the sheer scale and freedom made it unforgettable. A small spoiler alert: if you haven't played Fallout 3 and want to experience the story fresh, skip ahead to the next section. So what about the story? Well, you begin life as the child of James, voiced by Liam Neeson inside Vault 101. After a time jump tutorial that takes you from a birth to adolescence, chaos erupts when your father mysteriously leaves the vault. With the Overseer cracking down, you're forced to escape into the capital Wasteland to find him. The main quest follows your search for James, who turns out to be working on Project Purity, a plan to restore clean water to the entire wasteland. Along the way, you clash with super mutants, the Enclave, and countless raiders while meeting allies like Brotherhood of Steel. Eventually, you're faced with a climactic choice: sacrifice yourself by entering the irradiated chamber to activate Project Purity, or send someone else to do it. The controversial ending sparked the debate, as many players felt it restricted role-playing options. The Broken Steel expansion later revised it, allowing you to survive and continue the fight against the Enclave after the Purifier's activation. While the story wasn't as morally complex as the original Fallout games, it delivered emotional weight, epic set pieces, and memorable moments that defined the series for a new generation. On release, Fallout 3 was a critical and commercial success. It earned Game of the Year awards from multiple outlets, including IGN and GameSpot, and went to sell over 12 million copies. Critics praised the open world, the sense of discovery, and the freedom of choice. The capital Wasteland felt alive, filled with stories waiting to be uncovered. The WAT system was highlighted as a clever compromise between old-school turn-based combat and modern shooters. But there were criticism. Purists from the Interplayer era felt it strayed too far from the franchise roots. The shooting mechanics were often clunky, the karma system simplistic, and the bugs became infamous. NPCs could get stuck indoors, enemies might ragdoll into the sky, and crashes were frequent. Heck, even my gameplay, I fell through the world countless of times for whatever reason. Maybe the game was just too old that my fast system couldn't comprehend what is happening on the screen. Despite those flaws, Fallout 3 became a defining RPG of 2000s. The Game of the Year edition in 2009 only reinforced its legacy, offering an enormous package of content at the great value. Even today, it's remembered as the game that brought Fallout into the mainstream. Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition was more than just a collection, it was the moment the series transformed. It marked the beginning of Fallout as an open world juggernaut, one that would eventually lead to New Vegas, Fallout 4 and even Fallout 76. For some, it was betrayal of the franchise's old school roots. For others, it was a masterpiece that defined what an RPG could be in the modern era. But whichever side you landed on, there is no denying its impact. Even with its bugs, controversies, Fallout 3 remains one of the most important RPGs ever made. It refined exploration, gave us unforgettable moments, and left a radioactive footprint on gaming history. With that said, it's time to end the video, and thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next video.
Hey there.
Ah, a fellow student on the path of the Wasteland. Welcome to my humble caravan. Please relax. The type of safety that can only be ensured by an abundance of weaponry, both wicked. See, the world's a dangerous and unbalanced place. So, with a little bit of help from the mayor of Canterbury Commons, I set up this caravan. I can't give the weapons away for free. It's my pleasure to offer hot death in a variety of exciting flavors. Take your pick. Thanks.
Oh, thank God. Someone new. I've been drinking this irradiated. Oh, please.
Welcome to Rivet City. Please wait while the bridge extends.
Hold it right there. State your business in Rivet City. Research, huh? I can't help you there, but you're free to ask around inside. Just don't start any trouble. We're the safest, most secure city in the Wasteland. Nothing can get in here without our say-so. I don't exactly have time to worry about the history around here, now do I? Carry on then.
Yes.
away from me. What do you want? Are you one of them? I'm sorry. I'm just so on edge all the time. I'd rather be alone just now.
This here is Flack and Shrapnel's gun shop. Pretty catchy, huh? Take a look around. If you see anything you like, I'll be right over here. I don't put the good stuff out on the table. If you're interested, I can show you the stuff in the locker. Need to do some killing. Thanks. Try the muddy rudder. They don't ask too many questions down on the lower deck. Fred, I can't help you, pal. Been here for years, but all I know about the history is that it's a safe place to settle down. Maybe Bannon can help you out. He sure acts like he knows it all. If you need more ammo, this is where to get it. Don't even think of...
They call me Shrapnel. I run this place. Got the best damn armament you'll ever see. Ain't seen many of those around lately. They're tough to come by. History? Fuck if I know. Hell, fuck if I care. What you looking for?
Breaking into that.
I should get back.
Welcome to Potomac Attire. I am Bannon, proprietor, and I carry discriminating attire for discriminating customers. Between you and me, keeping out the riffraff is good for business. Dr. Lee, Chief Harkness, and I are all on the council. We meet every Monday morning. I can be very influential, if you know what I mean. Far more than Seagrave Holmes. A threat? No, of course not. Well, maybe. He wants to replace me on the council. He's a shady character. I just can't prove it. Now, if someone were to find something incriminating in his room, well, let's just say I would be very appreciative. Dr. Lee, Chief Harkness, and I are all on the council. We meet every... It's a place to live, safe from raiders and super mutants. With Dr. Lee on our side, maybe we can even begin to rebuild the world. Why, I practically set this whole place up. When I got here 12 years ago, it was just a handful of dead-enders squatting in a rusted-out rowboat. Now I'm on the council, and with my leadership, we're the strongest settlement in the wastes. Of course, a few of those dead-enders still stick around, but who'd want to leave? Well, yes, but it was hardly any place of importance until I arrived on the scene. That's all ancient history now. No one would ever care about it. If you insist on wasting your time on that, you could try that bartending old crone down below, Belle Bonnie. Come back soon.
This is a quick fix. I mean, that's the name of our shop. Polly and mine, that is. My name is Cindy. Cindy Cantelli. No. I would never do that. Polly does. Sample it, I mean. He's my deadbeat husband. He's hopeless. I have to keep him away from the shop, or he'll rob us blind. One of these days, he's going to end up dead. Well, I don't really know, to tell the truth. How does any city get started, really? But I've heard Bannon talk about how he was responsible for its success. So I'd ask him about it. I'm sure you'll be back soon.
Yes?
Welcome to Gary's Galley. Can I take your order? It's noisy, dark, and smelly. But we're safe here. No super mutants or raiders, and maybe Dr. Lee will find a way to get clean water for us. It's named after my dad. He's a great cook. She's not very social. Stays in her lab in the stern. She's smart, though. Real smart. You mean like hitting on me? No. Most of them are polite. Even the ones like Diego that I'd want to flirt with seem to ignore me. Well, one of us is. Sometimes it seems like he doesn't even know I'm there. Yeah, right. I don't think I could get him drunk enough to do that. I wish I had some ant pheromones. Trini says they would make any man lose control. I heard the place was settled by mercenaries who used to scavenge D.C., but I don't really know. Thank you for coming to Gary's...
I'd rather be alone just now.
All end up like her. I'm on duty. Make it quick. Chief Harkness meets with... It's a waste of a good Monday morning, if you ask me. They should just... She's some sort of genius. You know, one of those egghead scientist types. Her lab is in the stern end of the ship. Yeah, he's totally strung out. It's gonna kill him one of these days. If someone took yours... Otherwise, I've got... Don't even think of breaking into that.
Howdy, I'm Seagrave. Seagrave Holmes. I have a little of just about everything here. A what? Look, if you just want to crack wise, go somewhere else. But if you've got stuff you want to sell, then I'm your man. Shh! They might be listening. Commonwealth has tried to make it out to be a hoax. But the escaped android is real, I tell you. Listen to this holotape. It will make you a believer, too. Steal it? Hardly. He runs the council like it's his own personal bank account. He's supposed to represent all the market businesses, not just himself. It's about time he was replaced.